Now I know that's a main theme in your life right now, being real,
Yeah,
right? So you got your gathering, the weekly gathering,
a monthly.
monthly
Yeah,
gathering,
yeah.
be real,
Being
uh,
real.
being real,
Being real. Yeah, yeah.
being real.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay. So what's this gathering for? What's it for? Who's it for? And what's its objective?
So I'll give you a little bit of background, and I'll get into it quickly so I don't forget the question. So there was an acquaintance. There's a guy I'd met a number of times over the years, about a couple of years before I'd left for my studies, and he'd actually come to visit Yemen during my time there. I think he had when I was he had. So then I kind of saw him there. Then in 2019. Yeah. So in 2019 or towards the end of 2018, he rings me up and he says, Imran, we're looking to start something in Bury. There's like local guys have got nothing to go to. They're not super religious, but they need something. So like, would you be interested in doing something? I'm like, yeah, okay. So in 2018, we started this monthly. I don't know what it was going to be. No one knew what it was going to be. I since learned that it was for people local to Bury, just some kind of class. But it wasn't like for the super, super religious people, because there's plenty out there for people in that demographic. So we had no idea what it was going to be like. And it ended up being, or what it became was like a monthly session on spirituality, where our tradition is taught in a accessible manner, where everyone's welcome. Doesn't matter, what stage of their journey they're at. No one's judged. And those were going to be like the founding kind of the pillars of that kind of gathering, is that everyone can come, and it's no entry level requirements. You don't have to be at a certain stage of your journey. And that's what it became. For people who've used the term unmosqued, people who don't find a space for themselves in religion. They're Muslim, but they don't, they're not kind of up here where they're ready to commit to like a kind of regular Fard Ayn class, or like a regular curriculum of like, weekly commitment for 2 years or 3 years. Most people can't do that. So there needs to be a way in. And being real, the intention with it is that it becomes this way in for people to begin their journeys or kind of resume their journeys in a way that, they don't feel pressured to look in a certain way or to conform to a certain kind of standard. And things are broken down and explained in a way that's just makes sense to them. It's relevant. And I think that's what it's become. So I might have missed out some important details there, but
It's all right. So why name it that, being real? Like, do you feel like there's an issue with people being real?
yeah, I think there is. First of all, myself, like being real became my own journey. And I heard about it, like this idea, what does it mean to be real? We hear about it now, being authentic, be your authentic self. This kind of thing, about being authentic and not being fake. Because no one likes, no, if you describe someone as fake, that's an insult. And it will always be an insult, whatever domain or whatever. No one wants to be described by that. Which means that it's praiseworthy, it's good to be authentic, it's good to be real, but what does that even mean? And I had this question for years and years. And I think I'm getting closer to understanding what it is. But it was, and I actually came up with the name, and I wanted it to be something, and I took this from Tatleaf when they started. They all of their named, I remember there was a video of Osama Khan, and Allah have mercy on him. He said all of our programs are named in like an active, like present tense, like living right. I can't remember the rest, but they all end in that. Something that's active, something that you do. And we took inspiration from that, and for sure as an organization, and in terms of the ethos that we had, completely taken from them, and our approach. So it was what I wanted to kind of understand for myself and convey, is that like wherever you are in your journey, whatever your background, it's okay. That's fine. You're not a bad person. You're not a bad person. And so much of religion can espouse, and it can manifest in that way, that there is something wrong with you, we need to fix you. like what you're doing is wrong and you're a bad person. No one's going to say it like that, but sometimes the subtext is that there is something wrong with you. And who wants to feel like that? That's not going to land well with anyone. It's just going to lead to a load of spiritual problems. If someone believes that there's something wrong with them, there's something inherently wrong with me. And religion can do that when it doesn't manifest properly. That's what happens, is that it can make you think that there's something wrong with you. And that is not what religion is trying to achieve. It's not what God wants, and it's not healthy. And there needed to be an alternative, and being real is an attempt at that alternative. Is an attempt, it's one way of like saying, actually, where you are in your journey is okay, but let's progress. Let's get closer to where you want to be.
How important is it for a person, like, off that, being real? See, I have this kind of, I reflect upon this, and I do think that, like, you know what, are we supposed to be real? Like, yes, I think you use the term authentic, i.e., look, if you want to progress in life, I feel like if you got to step out of your comfort zone, you got to do things that really aren't you.
Yeah.
For you to progress, for you to become you. So how does that balance with being real? Like, a lot of people say, this is me. Well, accept it or like it. This is me.
Yeah.
I'm being real.
Yeah.
But is that an acceptable approach towards people that want to progress in life? Like, can you progress if you think like that?
I wouldn't call that being real.
Oh, okay.
Because being real, and obviously this is a lot to unpack in this, is yes, it's okay where you are, but there are certain things that we should be doing, that if a Muslim professes faith, that they should be doing. And a person can't say, well, I know I'm not doing those things, but it's okay because I'm being real and that's authentically me. That's nonsense. But what we're saying is that we're not going to judge you where you are, but we're not saying be content with where you are. That's the difference. Is that being real isn't about being content. It's accepting where you are, but it's also accepting that I can be doing better and I should be doing better, without any of the guilt, without any of the kind of self-flagellation and that kind of thing. So the situation that you described, I think that's someone making excuses for themselves.
Mashallah. And so I think being real was one of your first early initiatives. After you've set up this being real initiative, you've moved forward onto setting up New Beginnings. What is New Beginnings?